Poppy Harlow in Steubenville, Ohio, for us. I want to bring in Paul Callan, our CNN legal contributor. You know, Paul, a 16-year-old now just sobbing in court, regardless of what big football players they are, they still sound like 16-year-olds. The other one, 17, a 16-year-old victim. The thing is, when you listen to it and you realize that they could stay until they're 21, they are going to get credit for time served. What's the lasting effect, though, on two young men being found guilty in juvenile court of rape, essentially?
Well, you know, Candy, we've seen here a courtroom drenched in tears and tragedy. And, you know, Poppy's description, I think, you know, sums it all up. But across America, scenes like this happen all the time. I know as a prosecutor and a defense attorney, when that verdict is handed down, usually it's just the families of the defendants and the victims. There's always that moment of just lives are destroyed. And lives have already been destroyed by the crime. And we got a chance to see that. But in terms of what happens now, yeah, the most severe thing with these young men is being labeled as registered sex offenders. That label is now placed on them by Ohio law. And by the way, the laws in most other states now require such a designation in the face of such a serious crime. That will haunt them for the rest of their lives. Employers, when looking up their background, will see that they're registered sex offenders. When they move into a new neighborhood and somebody goes on the internet where these things are posted, neighbors will know that they're a registered sex offender. It's really something that will have a lasting impact, much more of a lasting impact than going to a juvenile facility for 1 or 2 years.
Paul, thanks. I want to bring Poppy back in because, Poppy, there's, you know, the 16-year-old victim, her life never the same again. And I understand that you've been talking to some of the families involved.
Her life never the same again, absolutely. Candy, the last thing she wanted to do was sit on that stand and testify. She didn't even want to bring these charges. She said it was up to her parents. But I want to tell our viewers about a statement that her mother just made in the court after the sentencing. Her mother just said that she has pity on the two young boys that did this. She said human compassion is not taught by teachers or coaches. It's a God-given gift, saying that you displayed a lack of compassion, a lack of moral code, saying that you were your own accuser throughout this for posting about this all over social media. And she said she takes pity on them. As far as her daughter, she said she will persevere. She will get through this. But the words of an angry mother who now has a sentence that I believe she would consider, or a verdict at least, just. Candy?
CNN's Poppy Harlow. Thank you also to our legal contributor, Paul Callan. Of course, we will be following this story throughout the day. Now to Howard Kurtz and Reliable Sources.